after Raditz was killed, Goku died as well, as in this what-if, the gang was standing in front of the Goku, and then a ki ball makes a ton of dust around them, blinding them, as then Goku's body was suddenly gone, as it was shocking them. They just saw him, and then out of nowhere a dust cloud hits him, and now his body's gone? Now, they think that maybe Goku might have passed on to the other world, which would happen. So that's why they think, as it's odd, but Piccolo didn't sense any ki near them at all. So they would leave, as dr.gero, who turned himself into an android to prolong his life, rushed Goku to his secret lab, as he would hook him up and downloaded his brain onto the computer before it all died off. As he did take Goku's DNA samples and blood and everything that he needed, he already took from Piccolo his DNA as well, as he will make Goku the strongest. And now, he also stole pieces of his space pod as well and the tech to help boost his research and help Goku on. As he works on Goku, he would make his body more android and more. Mixing his Saiyan DNA with the energies, he was still able to add upgrade to Goku, such as the limitless stamina and the infinite ki usage. So imagine Goku as a mixture between Cell and Android 17 and 18 and Android 20. He's a mixture of all androids put together, in a way. He has each key factors that they all have. But now, with this ki usage and odd energy, he also did make Goku's pupils red and his eyes around them black, just to make Goku look more menacing and that this is not Goku no more. And he will keep his G, but he will keep it usually red and black to signal the Red Ribbon Army. And he also thinks that dr.gero thinks that it looks better. So he also programmed into his mind about forgetting all of his memories and pretty much having no feeling. He pretty much is cold, collected, and thorough. This Goku is no joke. As for the Z-Gang, they would use the Dragon Balls and wish Goku back to life. Now, they know of the Su Saiyans who will be arriving within a year. They all train about the exact same. But back to the Dragon Balls, when they actually tried to wish Goku back to life, Shenron couldn't do it, as he explains that he doesn't know. But Goku is alive, but he is not. As Shenron doesn't know what's happening with these characters, they cannot wish Goku back to life, because Goku technically never died. Goku is still alive, sort of, which is why Shenron is confused and he cannot remember how to bring Goku back, and he can't do it anyway. So his soul could potentially be in the other world, or still there. It's just a whole jumble of a mess, as Goku's a mixture of so many different things now. He's alive, but he's not. Half man, half machine. So they don't know what's happening, but they'll figure out a way to bring Goku back somehow. But they know that the two Saiyans will be arriving, so they do need to train as much as possible. But now, Goku, after a year, right before Vegeta and Nappa would arrive, Goku awakens, being powered on by dr.gero. As Goku would take a step forward, he was confused, as he can't remember who he was, but he knows of his Saiyan people, everything about them, from the database stolen from the Saiyan space pod. He also knows of the universe trading system, the Frieza Force, everything that was inside of the Saiyan database Goku can know. But now, he also knows about dr.gero as well, because he implemented him, and about the Red Ribbon Army, and he knows that dr.gero is his master and commander, so Goku follows him. He's his maker. dr.gero commands him, saying he added a nice trick for Goku, as Goku has the ability to absorb beings' life force and their energy, as well, adding it to his arsenal and to his own power. As Goku looks at his hand shapes into a tail-like thing. It was really similar to Cell's tail, but it was obviously different looking. As he was field tested, he was extremely powerful, as dr.gero was thrilled that he created such a powerful being, as he knew that he could, with Goku being the most powerful man on Earth. This is perfect. This is the perfect way how he can take over Earth easily now. But he has more fish to fry first. Now, when the Saiyans arrive, all the events happen the exact same, with the Cybermen and Nappa destroying everything in his path, as before he killed Piccolo, Goku would appear. But he raises his hand as he absorbed the Ki Blast attack, as everybody was in shock. Gohan and Krillin were instantly happy to see Goku alive, and he was okay. As Piccolo thinks otherwise, on the ground, injured, Piccolo looks up at Goku, and he was different. This was not Goku. Something was different about him. and Goku gave a cold glare. As Piccolo asked, who was he? Goku didn't even respond to Piccolo first, as he looked to Nappa and Vegeta, and he had a cold glare, and he stated, I will destroy you, Vegeta, alongside you too, Nappa, as you will feel my power and my future goals. Of course, Nappa and Vegeta would laugh, not sensing his key signature and even using the scouter, and it shows up as 0. Now, Nappa says that how weak he was, even a power level 0, he'll handle him no problem. As Nappa would swing his hand down like a karate chop, he would actually hit Goku's neck, and Goku only sunk in the ground about an inch or so, making the ground crack around him. Goku didn't even flinch, move, react, or nothing. He just kept staring at Nappa. But then he would grab his wrist and he would snap it, crushing all of his bones in his hand, snapping his hand, almost ripping it clean off. And Nappa would scream in pain. As Goku held onto his hand, he raises his other hand, and Goku formed a tail-like thing on his hand, and it would stab into Nappa's chest. As Nappa was drained of its energy and life force, Nappa would then become a dried, hollowed husk on the ground. It would shock everybody. Even Vegeta was shocked seeing what the hell happened, as he thinks that this isn't a Saiyan, nor is this Kakarot. This is a monster. Piccolo asked, what happened to you, Goku? As he was on the ground, injured. Goku turned coldly, staring at him, and he says to Piccolo, a Namekian, good, but you will only get in my way. As he would pick up Piccolo, and he would kill Piccolo, draining his energy, and he would snap his neck right in front of Gohan, who screamed, no, as he tossed Piccolo's limp body across the floor. Krillin would quickly grab Gohan, hauling it out of there. As Gohan asked that no, he needs to go get Piccolo, Krillin would tell him, Gohan, Piccolo's gone, and that is not your father. That is somebody else, and we have to get out of here now. As they would fly off, remember the other Z gang is dead as well, so they're not alive. So now it's just Goku and Vegeta. But now Gohan, who was crying what happened, Goku turned his attention as Vegeta would commend Kakarot on his power, how he easily defeated Nappa. Now, he obviously thinks that the turning Nappa into a weird husk was weird. His scouter did go off, showing that Nappa did get weaker, so he somehow absorbed Nappa or something. Vegeta doesn't know what he is, but he does admit that beating Nappa is no small feat, and he does respect that. He even offers Goku to join him, as he must be a robotic or a weird entity. Maybe technology can help him. Goku would only stare, saying he will not join a fake prince. That species is dead anyways. And that Vegeta, you're just a puppet of Frieza, just being played by the strings. Making Vegeta very pissed off, he would charge in, attacking Goku, who would jump in the air as they battle. Goku was clearly far superior to Vegeta, and he was running out of options. To defeat Kakarot, he would jump into the air, charging his Gallic gun, as Goku doesn't move. He actually had a tiny little smirk forming. Dr.Gero, who was following his movements, watching live feed from Goku's eyes, was pretty shocked, as he thinks that, that Goku's Saiyan fighting spirit is still inside of him somewhere, making his blood boil to a fun fight. As Goku had a smirk, telling Vegeta to take all the time he needs to go all out. Vegeta shoots the Gallic gun right at Goku full force. Goku, who holds both hands out, struggles a little bit, but he actually absorbs the entire attack, raising his power higher and higher as Vegeta kept on shooting the attack. Now Vegeta, who ran out of energy, didn't have much of another option as it wasn't working. He would then form a spirit ball, just joking, he would spawn the fake moon. As Vegeta would then throw this fake moon in the air, Goku would then stare really oddly at what that is, as he never seen that attack before, but he does know that some Saiyans can actually form fake moons to become a great ape, which Goku is really interested in. But now, Vegeta would turn into a great ape, and this is exactly what Goku wanted. Goku wanted him to become his true form, as he wanted, knowing the power it brings, Vegeta, he will make it his own. As he would stab into Vegeta, who was defeated on the ground in Great Ape, he wouldn't kill Vegeta, but he would leave him nearly dead and destroyed his pride. He drained Vegeta, nearly killing him, as he absorbed so much energy that Vegeta turned out of Uzaru into his base form, and he was actually a lot more skinnier and looking like he's very malnourished and such. So Vegeta's on his last legs, but he's still alive. And Goku leaves him alive with just a little bit of energy left to survive, just because he has bigger plans with Vegeta. Now, he would actually take him to Dr. Gero, as Dr. Gero could make very much of use of Vegeta's body, and he offered it to Dr. Gero, who was more than pleased to be given this rare specimen. As he sees how Vegeta can use this Great Ape form, boosting his power level 10 times, he wonders if tweaking Goku's Saiyan genes with Vegeta's own DNA can increase his potential and add a mode to where he can use the Great Ape's power but remain in his base form, as obviously Goku at this point cannot transform into those apes because he's not a pure blood Saiyan anymore at all. He's not really even a Saiyan, he's a new species of being. So now, Goku's more like a bio-android pretty much. He's kind of like Cell, in a way. So he's like a new species. So he wonders if he can make a battle mode for Goku, to where Goku can upgrade his power tenfold like the Great Apes do and make himself more powerful. Since Goku did absorb Vegeta in his Great Ape state, he knows what the power feels like. So Dr. Gero turns Goku off, and he would actually begin working on Goku and studying him and studying Vegeta, and he was actually doing like surgery on Vegeta, removing parts of his body, and making Vegeta stay awake for it, just to make him suffer a little bit, as Vegeta was pretty much a lab rat at this point, being experimented on. But now, he was really happy that he had Vegeta, but now at this point, would Namek still happen? Yes, Namek will still happen. Now what happens is back when Gohan and Krillin are back at the hospital, where Piccolo's dead, there isn't any Earth Dragon Balls left, so they need to go to Namek and wish for Piccolo, their friends back, and wish for Goku to be back somehow. As Gohan was destroyed at seeing his father killing his new friend Piccolo, and to being so heartless and scary, it traumatized him. As Chi-Chi wouldn't allow it, Gohan yelled that he must go save his friends and save his father before it is too late. Since the events of the last part, Gohan, Krillin, and Bulma take their leave to Namek to use their Dragon Balls to fix this entire mess. As for Goku, who was finished being programmed with the new data, Dr. Gero would fix the space pod, upgrading it a little even more, so he can send Goku to Namek to gather data and stop the gang from causing issues to his plans. He would send Goku along and run a test on Vegeta, who was locked in a tank, locked away. As the events all happen the same with the beginning of the Namek saga, other than there is no Vegeta, Gohan and Krillin together, I do think that they would be able to gather most of the Dragon Balls, as Frieza calls the Ginyu Force, which during that time, Goku would arrive. Goku would use his scanners and sense out most of the power, and he sees a group of powers all together. He would then frown and fly off. As Gohan and Krillin, who were beaten badly and tortured by Raccoon, would laugh and joke, as he would actually step on Gohan's head, making him scream in agony. Goku would land on a rock without having Ki's signature. None of the scouters could sense him, nor could Gohan and Krillin. Goku would watch with a cold expression, watching his son be tortured, but something inside of him is just calling to him. And just on instinct, he wants to gather data, but we all know that deep down, Goku is still in there. Fragments of Goku is still in there. There is still the man behind the machine. He would fly in, and he would actually kick the beam away, saving Krillin and Gohan. Both of them were still shocked and scared at seeing this monster appear again. As they asked who he is, Goku says nothing, as he appeared right in front of Raccoon, and he would punch right through his chest, grabbing his heart. He would crush it. As Jason Berter was staring in shock, Raccoon was just in shock as he doesn't know what just happened. But then Goku would uppercut his jaw, exploding his head all over the place. As his body would fall over limp, Jason Berter would be shocked about what just happened and how easily he defeated Raccoon. But they would look at each other and they would go attack this monster. Goku would easily destroy Berter and Jace, absorbing their energy, leaving them as just hollow husk, as he tapes the data to himself, only rising his power even higher. But now Krillin used this opportunity to use some senzu beans that he got from Korin before they left to heal himself and Gohan, as Gohan actually got a way bigger Zenkai this time, considering the fact that he was actually nearly killed, being tortured non-stop. Gohan has also had more battles with Frieza's army, so Gohan is actually a little bit stronger than the original. Goku, for some reason, lets them go, as Gohan and Krillin would get the hell out of there, flying out as fast as they could, getting away from this. It's not even Goku. They don't see it as Goku no more. This is just a monster. But for some reason, Goku would let him. Was Dr. Gero would be confused watching from his scanners. he would wonder why he did that. And he does see from his scanners a spike of emotions, but he'll write that down and delete it from Goku's memories. But now Goku would sense someone coming from his scanners, and it was none other than Captain Ginyu himself. They would exchange names, as Goku says, "My name doesn't matter." As the two would begin to fight, Goku was clearly outmatching Captain Ginyu with ease, and in a last-ditch effort, Captain Ginyu would then use his Change Now technique. As Goku would actually have a little of a surprised expression about what this technique was, it would hit him, but then nothing happens. Ginyu was shocked. He's never had this before. There's no being ever that could resist his body change movement. There's no way. Now Goku, who actually gasped a little bit for air, never seen a technique like that, to where he can change his entire body. But I guess Goku wonders that since he's not really a human anymore, he's not even has a soul. I guess maybe the change doesn't even work. Captain Ginyu would try one more time, but before he could, Goku would appear and grab one of his forearms and rip it off, saying he will enjoy taking his energy. As then, a tail would form out of his hand, and he would stab into Captain Ginyu, sapping all of his energy away. Captain Ginyu would beg for mercy, as he was then turned into a hollow, dried husk. Goku would toss it into the water. As he would scan, he sees the sky turning dark oddly, but it was midday. As Goku doesn't understand what's happening, he would actually begin to look around, and he would think to himself, wait a minute, could this be the Dragon Balls? He does remember from his data that the Dragon Balls make the daytime turn instantly to night when they're activated. He would sense Gohan and Krillin's ki, and he would fly off full speed to go get there. And he does sense a very high energy source heading right towards them as well. Krillin and Gohan have summoned Shenron, and with the help of Dende, they would bring Piccolo back, which Piccolo would still fuse with Nail, finding him nearby as he was beaten and tortured by Frieza. But then, as Krillin would look up in shock, Frieza would be standing there to see that the stones have now been replaced, as sadly, Elder Guru has passed away from his old age, rendering the Namekian Dragon Balls useless. Frieza in anger would look at them and state how dare they destroy his dream of becoming immortal. He would then state that he's going to make their pain insufferable, and he will torture them until they even want to feel the relief of death. As then, Goku would then land in front of Frieza. As Frieza was confused, as he didn't look like a Saiyan, but he seems like one, and the clothes are odd. As Frieza asked who was he, Goku stated he was a much worse threat than a Saiyan, and he knows of Frieza destroying Planet Vegeta and killing innocents. As Frieza was surprised on how he knew that information, Goku smirked, as deep down, his Saiyan blood was boiling at the chance to fight someone so strong. As Dr. Gero takes note of this, he thinks that even after so much I've done to him and enhanced him and turned him into my own creation, for some reason, just the Saiyan DNA itself, a strong opponent makes the Saiyan's blood boil for the true match of their life. I guess Dr. Gero thinks that is a true warrior, but as long as he keeps his head, he might be able to take this being's energy, as Dr. Gero has sent a few drones himself to copy and watch battles so he can download the input of the fighters onto Goku. But now Goku was excited to fight someone so strong. The battle would begin. As Goku had a clear advantage over First Form Frieza, he tells him, go to your full strength if this is it, but if it is, then it's a damn shame. He expected the Emperor of the Universe, title of the strongest in the universe, Tyrant of the Universe, the Emperor, to be such a weakling. Frieza would have a vein on his forehead and tell him saying, oh no, Saiyan, I've just gotten started. He would actually go past his second and third form, and he would actually go into his final form, or his true form. Now, they begin clashing back and forth, as Goku was actually showing expression of struggling. Now, remember, we always have seen this new Goku expressionless and cold. But considering how powerful Frieza is, I don't blame Goku for having a bit of a struggled face. But now, Frieza was extremely powerful, and Goku gives him credit for that, but he's learning as he's fighting, gaining stronger, copying Frieza's moves. Frieza would actually be using 70% of his power and fight Goku on nearly even terms, as Goku would use his infinite ki and stamina to his advantage. But Goku does have more fighting experience, and considering the fact that Frieza cannot sense ki, but Goku's scanners are way more powerful than the original Goku is, he can actually see where Frieza's going. Not to mention his eyesight is better and more. But now, Goku is also different. This Goku has more fighting experience, and he doesn't feel any emotions. He just wants to kill. He's not here for mercy. He's not here to drag the fight on and see how far he can push himself. This is different. He is here to kill Frieza and gather his power. That's the end of it. But now, Frieza was shocked at how this Saiyan can absorb his powers, as Goku stated it himself. Now Frieza says, this is impossible. There's no Saiyan alive that can absorb energy. That just doesn't happen. They can maybe form their own energy and exceed it out to an attack, but that's not possible. Goku says to try me. But now, Frieza says, fine. Why don't I give you a little taste of my real power? As Frieza would then charge a full power death ball and fire it at Goku, who he grabbed it struggling, as Frieza made it bigger in size, being the size of a supernova even. As Frieza laughed, Goku would then scream as it then exploded. As the dust settles, a massive beam of red and black energy swarms around the planet like a hurricane, as Goku rose out of the ground in a new form. Goku stood there, his hair red, standing up, his power shocking Frieza. The dense energy was radiating through the universe. The gang watched in horror and shock as Goku glared coldly at Frieza, saying, "My turn." Goku, in this new form, glared at Frieza, as dr.gero was shocked at what the readings are showing. He sees all of the dormant S cells are overloading with latent power. As he would laugh at this new power Goku has gotten, Gohan and the others would stare in shock as the red and black aura would form like flames and sparks on his body. Frieza thinks he's a Super Saiyan. Goku would appear and attack Frieza with no mercy. As the Emperor used 80% of his power even, he tried to kick Goku as he caught his leg, snapping it in half, breaking it. As Frieza screamed in agony, he would use his tail to get away from Goku, as he would land and fire death beams, but Goku would actually let them hit him. As Goku barely moves, the beams doing no damage to him at all. He then had a smile, but it was evil and menacing. Frieza would suffer. As a last-ditch effort, Frieza would showcase his full power, but this is what Goku has been wanting all along. Frieza at his maximum power? He would kick Frieza to the ground as he would showcase the tail from his arm, just like Cell does. He would absorb all of Frieza's energy as it would go into his body. As then, pink and red and black mix in his aura. As lightning hits, he has absorbed all of Frieza, plus his abilities, powers, and more gaining all of his memories as well. He knows of his army, plus his brother and father, more energy to obtain, as we'll keep that in mind. He also remembers seeing a being, a powerful being, in Frieza's memories, known as Lord Beerus. He'll keep that in mind. As Gohan and Krillin stare in shock, Piccolo doesn't know what to do. As Goku looks at the pair, he was in base form now, as the form diminished. He has two lines going down his eyes to his lower cheeks, like Frieza. As Piccolo would tell them to run as fast as they can, he tried attacking Goku, who it doesn't affect him at all. He has no need for Piccolo already, as he already took his DNA beforehand and his power. He has no need for him. He would headbutt Piccolo and kick him away, making him spit purple blood over the floor, as Gohan in anger would snap, seeing Krillin beaten as well, and he would fly in and he would land a hit on his father, who had a little scuff mark on his cheek. He stared. He was impressed by this boy's latent power. He grabbed Gohan by the throat, and he states he will enjoy taking all of his energy. Gohan had tears as he begged his father to come back. Goku was confused by why he called him a father. He's not his son. But something inside of him would drop, as he stated he had no use for his small power anyway, as he would then go to his space pod and fly off, leaving the planet back to dr.gero. The others would go to the shocked Bulma as they hatched a plan to keep him away, as they would follow him to the lair of dr.gero. Now, during this in-between parts of events, Goku was updated with any new things that dr.gero has given him. Bulma, Piccolo, Krillin, Gohan has all arrived back on Earth and have already been healed of their wounds, and Namek was saved. Then that also means that there is no Dende, as Dende is left on planet Namek. But now, they would now need to find out and take down this monster named Goku. But now, they would actually follow Goku to the lair of dr.gero, and they would see him hooked up being worked on, as they find Bulma asking her for help, since she has no power level really, and she can go in sneaking, most definitely. And she is also the smartest one that they got, so maybe she can take things that they don't know, maybe even try to shut down this android. Bulma would sneak in and take data plans, and see a man who was chained up like a dog. And she would actually unchain him and save his life, bringing him to safety just in time before dr.gero noticed. He would then see that Vegeta was gone, and call for the other androids to find his test subject, but to no avail. As back at Capsule Corp, Vegeta awakens as he had a beard and all, and tons of new scars from the work done to him. As Bulma helps him up, he explains everything as he crushed the item in his hand. He wants revenge on that robot piece of junk that nearly took his life. Bulma stated Vegeta was tested on. He wasn't fully normal anymore. dr.gero seems to have added some enhancements to his DNA to make him stronger, as he demands the woman make him a room to train in, and he can learn all he can to defeat this monster himself. As he turned into his hard training with gravity training, very similar, he would actually gain Zenkais from it, as over time, he has also grown to love Bulma, as he was training to win for his honor and his new loved one, as one day, he would find Kami with the help of Gohan, who Kami would explain the room of spirit and time can help them. If Vegeta wants to go solo for now, Piccolo is there, as he says he will go with Gohan on their own turn, as now, this will be a really good time to drink the Ultra Divine Water as well, between Gohan and Piccolo, as this, Piccolo remembers, help did boost his father's energy, as Kami even agreed. So, with a little bit of help, I think that Gohan would do it as well, and a lot of people are going to say with the Ultra Divine Water, is that possible? With considering that Piccolo is not completely pure. For what if purposes, I'm going to say that Piccolo does survive, and Gohan's really innocent and pure like Goku was, so he will be able to survive it as well. But now, as they would boost their potential even more, they are now a lot more powerful than the original, but they still needed to do a lot of training, as Piccolo knows about Gohan's latent potential. Then, Vegeta would then come out battle damaged, armor, he smirked, saying he is ready to trash some metal, as he would fly off after getting new armor from Bulma. Bulma would then also make armor for Gohan, but Piccolo would stay with his own armor. They would go right in the Hyper Time Chamber for the full year. Now they would begin training together, as both of them had to both take a learning curve to deal with the major gravity. But now, Piccolo will help Gohan break his potential, as Gohan had so much rage inside of him after seeing his father turn into whatever he was. Gohan doesn't think that that's his father anymore. He's seen his father die, but it still is his father. He can just feel it. But his father has killed his friends. His father has nearly killed him. He's worried that if his father remembers, he could even go after his mother, Chi-Chi, and that worries him to death, as Piccolo tells him that Gohan is Goku. Goku is in Gohan, and that is his son. And Piccolo agrees that Gohan, out of everybody, Gohan has the power to be able to defeat Goku and at least bring peace to his death. As Gohan has the most potential out of everybody, Piccolo knows this. Now Gohan, with pure motivation and rage towards what his father has done, Piccolo says you need to drop these emotions and not understand that that is not your father anymore. That is just a monster that was created from his body. He is just an android, hell-bent on destroying and killing everything that you love. That's not your father no more. Piccolo states that you need to avenge your father and you need to go after him. So let's begin our training. As the training will be grueling and merciful, Piccolo does everything he can to beat on Gohan and push him past his limits to only further grow his power. Now, for what if purposes, we know how broken Gohan's potential is. It makes zero sense. We are going to state that in Gohan's base form, and this is fair, that Gohan is actually near the power of Final Form Frieza, aka at 100%. And that is fair, considering that Gohan's power level was at least nearly 1,000,000 at the end of the Frieza saga. But we don't officially know, though, since the Daizenshu was finished. And Gohan and Zenkai's and power levels past that point was very inconsiderate, and it doesn't matter anymore. But for what if purposes, we are going to say that Gohan is as powerful as a full power Frieza. I'm even going to say his base form is as powerful as Super Saiyan Goku from the Namek saga. And as for Piccolo, Piccolo is right behind them, as I would say that he's probably around as strong as Final Form Frieza, which is very fair. And now, Vegeta would then find Goku. As Goku was sent out by Dr.Gero to find where Vegeta was, Well, Goku got what he wanted. As Vegeta would then fly up to him, Vegeta had a big smirk. He was ready for this. Vegeta would then power up, as Goku was surprised at Vegeta's power. How did he get so powerful in such a short time? He went from being nothing a couple years ago, but now he's different. He's so much more powerful. And now Vegeta smirked, saying, "That isn't going to happen, as I will be the one begging for mercy." As then, the two would charge in for a legendary battle. Goku and Vegeta stared at each other as they charged in for the battle. As they would then start going back and forth, Goku was surprised at how powerful Vegeta. He was surprised at how powerful he was also able to become in such a short time. Goku needs to study this, as this doesn't make any sense. How it's only been a few days, and Vegeta's already this powerful? This doesn't add up. But, obviously, Vegeta would then smirk, saying that he is the prince of all Saiyans, not a cheap toaster who steals power. A Saiyan has no limits. As they would then clash hands together, testing their strength, both struggling very hard. As then, Goku would spin and try to kick him, as Goku would dodge the attack, spinning into a punch as Vegeta would block it, and he would elbow Goku away. As the two would clash once again, Goku would try to use the tail to absorb Vegeta, but instead of this time, Vegeta grabbed it, saying, "Do you really think the same trick will work on me twice, you buffoon?" As Vegeta would smirk, and he would actually rip the tail off of Goku's arm. Now Goku would jump back, as it would heal, so Goku checks this off. He cannot absorb Vegeta, as Vegeta already knows his moves. But now, I guess Goku can say, he can do it the old-fashioned way. As Vegeta smirks, saying he has the power he never dreamed of, the humiliation and pain he has suffered, he has now broken his limits like never before. And Vegeta says that he will never feel the taste of defeat again, ever. As his muscles expand a little, his hair turns golden as his eyes turn a bluish teal. He then turns into a Super Saiyan. Goku doesn't know what this form is, but he notices his energy has skyrocketed. Since at that point, Dr.Gero was nearby watching for notes, he continued his creation. As back to Goku and Vegeta, Goku was actually struggling against Vegeta in this state, as Vegeta demands that Goku will go into that fake form of his to make this fight even a little bit fun. Now Goku would happily do so, as Goku would transform into that red demonic form once again. Now, Vegeta was finally excited, as remember, they're both Saiyans, and especially their Saiyan blood is boiling at the chance to fight each other full power. So who wouldn't be excited? But then, the golden and red aura would clash together as they fly into the air, trading blows back and forth, typical Dragon Ball Z. But then, they were nearly equal in power. Gohan and Piccolo would then arrive, as Gohan would want to rush in, but Piccolo would stop him, saying that Vegeta wants to fight him alone. And this is what Vegeta would have wanted, as Piccolo thinks that at this point, they would really just get in the way, and also Piccolo thinks that Vegeta could potentially win, so they need to plan their move before they jump in there. Gohan would nod, as back to Goku and Vegeta, the two would have a heated battle, very similar to their battle in the Buu Saga, as Vegeta has something special for Goku. Now, Vegeta tells Goku that, well, since he is so powerful and so dangerous, he has something special just for him. Vegeta would then put his hands together and tell Goku that he dares him to try and dodge this attack, if he wants to try. But then, a ball will start forming in Vegeta's hands as Goku's scanners go crazy at the readings. Dr.Gero is shocked at this power. He might need to upscale Goku's energy reserves past its limit to even survive this one, as Vegeta, after this massive glowing orb was in his hands, would finally scream, "Final Flash." The beam was so massive, and it would hit Goku full force with the attack, as Goku didn't have time to jump out of the way, absorb it, or nothing. Goku put his hands up to try to block the attack. And it blows onto space, and then finally the dust would settle, showing Goku was half torn apart. One of his arms was gone, and his lower waist was gone. He looked very similar to Frieza when he cut himself in half. And part of his face was missing as well, as he was coughing up blood with a shocked face. Vegeta would then be panting, but then it would turn into laughter, saying that that was a good look for him. As then, Vegeta would then not take any chances. He would charge a massive Gallic gun with the rest of his power, and he would fire it, blowing Goku into bits. As Goku was just little bits and pieces on the floor, he would then start to form back together. But then, while Goku was reforming, remember, Vegeta would then collapse on the floor as he was in base form. Vegeta used up most of his power, but Vegeta thinks that it's over. But Piccolo remembers that Goku has his healing ability, and Piccolo would yell to Vegeta saying it's not over yet, he's healing, as it was too late. Goku would then finally reform to his full strength again, but this time, he would have a massive Zenkai, boosting his power, being nearly dead, as his red aura would then start changing, as Goku would grab his head, as veins started appearing on his head, as his eyes changed color, more of a yellow, and then his hair changes color, more dark navy blue color. As something was happening to him, his power was skyrocketing to new levels that they've never seen before. But now, with the help of his Saiyan DNA, plus Piccolo's healing and Frieza's untapped power, Goku has turned into something else. He would then look at his hands with a little smirk. The power was terrifying in this new form. Vegeta was shocked by seeing this, as he used up most of his energy in the battle. Goku would charge in, gut-punching Vegeta right into the ground, as Vegeta would fall nearly unconscious. Vegeta tried to get back up and turn, but he couldn't do it, as he couldn't barely even stand. But now, Goku commends Vegeta, thanking him, as if it wasn't for that attack, he wouldn't have been able to break his limits once again and grow even more powerful. But then Goku would then aim a hand to fire a ki blast to end Vegeta. His sensor beeps, as he would then turn around and see Gohan. Now Gohan was a little bit older. Being in the Hyperbolic Time Chamber, he was now in his teens. I would say around Cell Saga, just for plot, just because he looks cool. And he does have Piccolo's cape and outfit on, as Gohan was in Super Saiyan. Now Goku thinks this is the same form that Vegeta has, so maybe all natural Saiyans do have this ability of this new Golden S form, which Goku keeps in his notes. But Goku was surprised to see how that little boy, who wasn't even a challenge to him, has grown so much so fast. As Goku does remember the potential that he showed in Frieza, this is pretty impressive for just a boy. He'll remember that, and he wants to actually see how powerful he is, because he does sense that he is around the power of Vegeta, but he is holding back, so he's very, very curious. But now Gohan would tell his father this is his last chance. As Gohan would then charge his Super Saiyan aura, he will end him, and Gohan wants to bring his real father to peace. This Gohan is different. He is cold and more brutal. He's not the shy, gentle boy who doesn't want to fight. Gohan has been determined to end this monster and to bring his father's honor back, and to also avenge all the friends that Goku has killed. And, not to mention, he went through pure hell in the Hyperbolic Time Chamber, shattering his limits. As we all know, Gohan's potential makes no sense. It is as strong as the plot needs him to be, and it is as busted as it needs to be. So, father and son would then start the battle. But now this battle was different. Gohan, even in just Super Saiyan, was able to actually go back and forth against Goku, and do way more better than Vegeta ever could. But was it enough to actually beat him? Was it enough to actually defeat his father? Gohan was thinking this in his head, as Gohan doesn't really know what to do, as his father was only growing stronger and stronger, but in reality, he was just showing off more of this new form's power. But Gohan was starting to lose ground, as he was running out of steam fast. So, Goku would then grab him and beat him into the ground. Now Piccolo would charge in at this point to help Gohan, but Goku was using more of his power at this point. Goku would headbutt Piccolo and kick him away. As he remembers Piccolo well, as he would then smirk and grab Piccolo's arm, tearing it off as he fires a ki blast into his face, sending him into a mountain. Piccolo's still alive. He wants to see Gohan's anger rise, as he wants to see how far can he push the boy. As Gohan's anger did indeed rise, he had a massive boost in power, and he would charge in, attacking Goku, actually landing some solid hits on Goku, making his lip bleed. Goku would commend the boy, saying that, you know what, if I'm your father, I would have been really impressed. But then Goku would grab Gohan and brutally beat him to a pulp, as Gohan used up most of his energy at this point. Because remember, Goku has infinite stamina and infinite ki reserves. He can fight as long as he wants for whenever he wants. But the others, they run out of steam, just like any other fighter in the world. But then Gohan, obviously he's running out of options, he doesn't know what else to do. He would try to convince his father to come back, as telling him about his friends, his family, and his mother, Chi-Chi. Goku grabbed Gohan, and he would then beat him some more. Almost just as bad as when Broly was beating up Goku. But now, Piccolo would then try to charge in again to help Gohan, even with all the damage that he has, but Goku would slap him away like he was a gnat. As Vegeta would try to get up, but Vegeta couldn't. Mostly bones were broken, and there was nothing that he could do. Goku was ready to kill him, as Gohan was begging and pleading to his father to please come back, with tears in his eyes. Dr. Gero would then walk up, seeing that there's no other threats that can bother him. He would say, "Good, Goku. Do your job and end them all." As something in Goku, after seeing Gohan in tears, bleeding, something breaks inside of him. As he would drop his son, he was confused. All these memories started flooding his brain from a child, from his grandpa Gohan, to meeting Bulma and the adventures with the Z Fighters, to marrying Chi-Chi, and holding his son. His son. As he then remembers all the things that Dr. Gero has done to him, and what he's done to his friends, Goku was starting to break. His system was cracking. Goku was screaming, holding his head, as he was fighting for control. The Goku inside of him was fighting and clawing his way to freedom. To not be chained up like a monster and watch this anymore. As Gohan knew what was happening, he sees a tilt. He begged his father, "Please, Father, you can do it," as Goku's aura exploded like fire in red and purple flames, which was his aura. He glared daggers at Dr. Gero as he was salivating and spitting everywhere. He was like a wild animal, his pupils glowing white as well. He grabbed Dr. Gero by the throat and begged for his life, saying, "Obey me. I gave you second chance at life, and more power than he could have ever dreamed of. I am your master." As Goku in a monster voice yelled at him, saying, "I was better off dead." He would then punch through Dr. Gero's heart and make him eat his own heart. And he states, "This is what it felt like when you stole my humanity." As Dr. Gero passes, he powers down to base form, and he sees the blood on his hands, and the Z Fighters defeated. This was Goku. Goku was back. But something was different. This Goku had grief, and it was beyond comprehension. All the lives he stole, and how much damage he caused on the very planet he swore to defend, he was just a monster. As Krillin arrived and gave everyone a senzu bean, they all get up, as Gohan walks up to his father, saying, "It's really you." Goku would look up to Gohan with bloody tears and smile. "My son, you have grown up so much." Gohan would be happy and hug his father, crying. As Piccolo and Vegeta stood there, Gohan got off of him as Vegeta walked up to Goku. As Goku told Vegeta to kill him, end this suffering, as he doesn't know for how much longer he can keep himself controlled, as he doesn't even know what's happening to him, as he is fighting to stay in the limelight. Now, right before Vegeta was considering killing him, because remember they can use the Dragon Balls and maybe bring their real Goku back. But before Vegeta would even think about killing him, in the far distance, in the lab, Dr. Gero passed. The computer did a failsafe, as in a murky-filled tank. The subject was in testing, but it was finally deployed. As the glass cracks, it emerges, screeching, as Goku's scanners beep and went off. Something crashes through a mountain, skidding on the ground, as it bares its teeth, as the others look in shock and at horror at what this monstrosity was. Goku tries to go through the files in his head. Where it opened, he remembers saying, "This is bad. Very, very bad." Both fighters were on the ground as they stare in horror at what this creature is, and it had a crazy, creepy smile. As his purple blackish aura flames around him, Vegeta turned into Super Saiyan, and Piccolo and Gohan joins the fight, as this creature easily knocked all of them around like they were nothing. Goku was the only one who was able to hold his own for a short time, as this monster would then screech and claw at Goku's shirt, almost ripping it half off, and kick him to the ground. Goku was shocked. He stated, "This monster has no skill, but he's so unpredictable and his power is amazing." As Vegeta would then yell and charge a Gallic gun, this creature facing Goku twisted its torso right around, making it cracking and snapping noises as it smiled crazy at Vegeta, who then charged it on all fours. Vegeta fired the blast. As it swallowed the attack, this creature would then jump in the air, and with its mouth full of the ki, he would turn it into purple ki flames, firing it all around the area, covering everything, like a massive flamethrower. As Tien and the others fly in to help, but no one could stop this monster, as this monster flied in and torture them all. Goku was the last standing in this form. He used his tail to try and absorb his energy, but it didn't work, as for some reason, he doesn't know why. For some reason, the energy absorption technique is not working on this thing, as this thing would then bite the tail and rip it off of Goku's arm. As then, it would spin in the air, kicking Goku to the ground, and it stomps on his body, jumping far up and down, crashing onto his body. Goku would be spitting blood, and thinks its job is finally finished, as Goku would lay there limp. But Goku kept getting back up. Luckily, the Piccolo genes were helping him heal, as he was getting annoyed at this creature, as the creature was being more and more gory to Goku, as it was actually enjoying torturing him. As for Vegeta, his pride was broken, and this creature, who looks like him, is not going to make him lose again. As Vegeta would actually snap, as remember, Vegeta has been tortured by this creature, and he thinks that all this torture is making this monster that looks like him, and has his power, and that's pretty much what's beating him right now, when he just unlocked the legendary Super Saiyan power. Not to mention that Gohan has it. Obviously this is not going to go off very well. Vegeta's pride was shot, as he would just snap. As Vegeta's aura would explode, he would transform into a Super Saiyan 2. But remember, Vegeta isn't fully normal anymore, as dr.gero enhanced him, messing with his potential. As Vegeta would have sparks in the Super Saiyan form, he would transform to Super Saiyan 2, but this form had no pupils, just blank white eyes, very similar to Broly. And he was animalistic almost. He would attack the creature in a blind rage, and he would actually be able to damage this creature. As Goku knows, they must weaken this monster before killing it. Now he knows of a way, as he can gather as much energy as he can blow himself up. That might be the only way to kill it. As he tells Vegeta to fire his full power final flash, everything he has, as everybody else joins in, blasting the monster, it was bits and melting pieces, as it would screech and try to reform itself using the healing ability. Goku would then grab the monster, as it cannot escape. Goku's body begins glowing, as he would then look to his son, smiling, saying, "I am so proud of you, Gohan. I want you to take care of your mother for me. My son, please protect this planet for me." As the energy was surrounding them, blowing everybody back, Goku would then look up to the sky with anger, bloody tears coming out of his eyes, saying to himself, "I will not die a monster." As Goku would then scream, as he forms a ki shield around himself to kind of hold in the blast, so he doesn't want to blow up the planet. It would explode as it blasts past the shield and leaves the entire biome and area nothing but dust. Everybody got up, not seeing Goku nor the creature, as both of them were presumed dead. Gohan screamed with tears. He just got his father back, and now he's truly gone. But then Piccolo would then put a hand on his shoulder and say that yes, he is gone, but do not worry, we'll try to get him back with the Dragon Balls. But the other ones smiled a little bit actually, but they were sad. But they knew it had to be done, and may Goku rest in peace. Now Piccolo, after telling Gohan this, would then help him up, and he would explain to him again, your father needed you to do, and he knows that the world doesn't need him anymore, and we are all here to protect her. As Vegeta, who would then stood on his own, would then stare off to the sky, of course with his typical Vegeta glare, and he would say, Kakarot, though you were just a brainless android, you were a Saiyan, and your power has made me break my limits to a level I never thought possible. As he had a little smirk, stating that if we ever meet again, you will be the one begging next time. As Vegeta would fly off to go home with Bulma, and as for Gohan, he would go home to Chi-Chi and explain everything to her. As Chi-Chi was truly devastated, she understands, and Gohan thinks they can always just use the Dragon Balls to wish Goku back. But anyways, as a few months would pass, Gohan would try that very thing. But the dragon says no. He cannot wish him back because Goku is dead, but he's not. As messing with Goku's body, soul, and mind has kind of ruined it. So the dragon doesn't know why. He's never had this happen before. But he says for some reason he cannot wish Goku back to life no matter what he's trying. But now Gohan would be saddened by it, as he understands. As maybe it's for the best. As it has now been 7 years since the events of Goku and that monster that Dr. Gero created. Now Gohan was going to high school. Now this Gohan did keep some training up. Now he's not training all day every day, not shattering his limits. But remember, Gohan only needs to train for a very short time, and very little actually, to not keep himself rusty. Gohan only trained a few times with Piccolo, and he was able to get to the level of Super Saiyan Blue. Gohan's potential really does not make any sense at all. I mean, it's really weird. So we're just going to say that he is actually pretty decently stronger than I would even say Goku and Vegeta was when they fought Buu in Super Saiyan 2. During the beginning of the Buu Saga, I believe that Gohan is probably a lot more powerful. And yes, there is no Cell. There is no future Trunks arc. There is no Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. Yes, there is Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta. Would Gohan learn Super Saiyan 2? I don't think so, because Gohan would be too busy with his studies to really go after that form. But really, Vegeta's technically the strongest. But in reality, Gohan, even in Super Saiyan, I think is stronger than Vegeta. Especially since Gohan can just train for a little bit, and he's way more powerful. But anyways, but now, remember he was going to school, and he would still meet Videl. All that would happen the exact same. Now, in terms of the Great Saiyaman, there is no Great Saiyaman, and I'll explain in a minute. But as for Vegeta, Vegeta would still have Trunks, the exact same, and he would train every day as usual to become the strongest in the universe, as typically always does. As Chi-Chi has moved on from it, healing from the lost, as she was still a widow, she wasn't going to remarry because Goku was the only love that she ever wanted, and she knows that she will most likely meet him again one day. But Chi-Chi has moved on from it, healing from the loss, but she was worried about taking care of her son now. During this time, Gohan does meet Videl, and he doesn't do the Great Saiyaman stuff because remember, this Gohan is a little more mature, more serious, but still has the Goku lightheartedness and such. As then, in Bulma's lab, she was pondering about the computer that Dr. Gero had so many years ago. So, she packed her bags and took it upon herself to find the lab again. And she was amazed how brilliant Dr. Gero was to create these enhanced humans. She took everything from there: files, data, computers, hard drives, technology, more. As Dr. Gero had so many plans for Goku and for that new creature, he was going to make an army of those monsters and people like Goku. But now, before she does anything, she accidentally presses a button, and that unlocks a secret chamber. And inside of this room was the computer with Dr. Gero's brain put inside of it, making Goku once again. And he was half built, looking as real as ever. Bulma thinks to herself, they need their Goku back. Maybe she can destroy this computer real quick, and then take Goku and maybe build him up back herself. Because she knows that Gohan needs his father, and Chi-Chi needs her husband, and the world needs Goku, as she feels that she could have done more. So she would actually find a way to destroy the computer, I would just say by unplugging it, and probably tinkering with the vat that holds the brain and probably destroying it. So Dr. Gero is actually completely dead. But luckily, Bulma is really brilliant, and she has all the files and techniques that he had. So she can easily figure it out and figure out how he did what to make these people. So she would actually take Goku's half-built body all the way back to her lab, and she would keep it a secret. Now, she doesn't want people maybe getting the wrong idea in terms of, oh, you're remaking Goku again, that android version, but he was just an unstoppable monster. And you want to bring that back? And she doesn't really know how Vegeta would react either, nor Chi-Chi or Gohan. So she would actually start rebuilding Goku, but this time She's going to make sure that Goku has all of his memories and the good emotions, as she would keep them in a secret building, as then in her lab, Goku would be rebuilt stronger than ever, as she has a lot of research that Dr. Gero kept even before he died to make Goku stronger, and she added that in. She wants Goku to not lose again, so Goku is way more powerful, and now she has put thousands of data drives in Goku, making him more smarter, more intelligent than ever before. As now, she would then turn on Goku, and then Goku's eyes would open. And that is it for this one, you guys. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed this series. Let's get to 10,000 subscribers, and I will talk to you all later.